Okay, in National Treasure, Nicolas Cage supposedly got in a scuba gear, got into the Potomac, and then came up behind those trees right there. And I don't know if you can see the fence down there? There it is. Look, there's another fence. There's another fence. Oh, here's a block wall. Okay, so Nicolas Cage would have had to change into his tuxedo, get past all these fences, up over this block wall, to talk to the President of the United States right about there. I don't know. Kind of a long shot. What do you think? Past Secret Service and all that. It's crazy. Welcome back to SV Just Dreaming. So we found out through the internet before we arrived at Mount Vernon that we could park our boat right on the wharf where all of the tourist boats come in. So they allowed us to. We did our paperwork and away we went. This is an example of how they separated the wheat from the chaff, whatever. There's a round room where they walk the horses, and the wheat gets ground under the horse's hooves, and it drops into the cellar below this room, and works pretty well. The grounds of Mount Vernon are just really spectacular. Well worth your time if you ever get a chance to go there to walk around. It's just beautiful. There's about 500 acres to Mount Vernon at the current time, and the Ladies Association of the Union has owned and operated the property since 1853. It keeps the property in trust for the citizens of the United States. George Washington acquired this property when he was 11 years old when his father Augustine passed away. George had an idealized version of what a gentleman and a scholar should be like and act like. At the young age of 11, he really idealized his father, and this image of how a gentleman should behave carried with him throughout his whole life, and he was well noted for his proper decorum and his manner of speech and talk and walk. Everything about him said gentleman and scholar. It was a long line to get into the house, and here's some pictures inside the house of a seating room and different dining rooms and things like this. This is a big place, and kind of just kept a low profile with the camera as far as taking pictures, but this kind of gives you an idea of the inside of George and Martha's house. They would have guests come and stay sometimes for months, and many current presidents have visited this house. Coming up is the bed that George Washington died in. He died of basically a strep throat or a throat infection. There were period actors all over the compound, so this lady was actually playing the part of Martha Washington, and she was so convincing that a couple of teenage girls came up and asked Gail if that really was Martha Washington. And here is the final resting place of George and Martha Washington. What a fabulous time we've had at Mount Vernon, and thank you very much for joining us.